Many Americans have little respect for the extremely biased mainstream media, and rightly so. Some still refer to them as journalists, but let's not go that far. The media as a whole is not an enemy of the people, but they certainly are part of the fake news epidemic in this country, and that's why we need to battle the bias with facts and truth. Well, apparently CNN's Jim Acosta felt threatened at a recent Trump rally when people were shouting things like, "CNN sucks!" Well, afterward, Acosta revealed how he really feels about Republicans and conservatives and said this.
Even I was shocked at the level of vitriol that was aimed your way last night. Give us an idea of what it felt like to be in the middle of it.
Well, Essie, I mean, honestly, it felt like we weren't in America anymore. I don't know how to put it any more plainly than that.
Commentators on the major networks, MSNBC, and of course CNN, most often put a liberal spin on the news, withhold facts, and at times even lie. But we should not follow the mob tactics and intolerance employed by the left. But I do understand how some folks are frustrated with the Democrats running most of today's media, especially when their reporting on President Trump has been documented to be over 90% negative. And when there's good economic news to report, for example, they'll often find other things to talk about. Very little was said about the positive job numbers released Friday, showing another strong employment report from last month. According to CNS News, quote, the Labor Department's Bureau of Labor Statistics says a record 155,965,000 people were employed in July, the 11th record breaker since President Trump took office. Now, the majority in the media ignore or minimize the facts, which I guess it's part of an established pattern now, but sadly, they chose sides long ago. Here's an example. Remember Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Party? Let's flash back to yet another example of blatant bias by the liberal media. During the Occupy Wall Street and Tea Party movements, there was a stark difference in how the media reported on the two, and I'm going to say this slowly. In the first 9 days of coverage, Occupy Wall Street drew 24 broadcast stories. The Tea Party received 19 stories in the first 9 months. This is not journalism. Now, CNN accused Tea Party protesters of that time of rabble-rousing. The Democrat National Committee called them rabid right-wing extremists. ABC said they were a mob. Harry Reid called them evil mongers, and Nancy Pelosi said they were un-American. This is what the left pretty much thinks about today's deplorable Trump supporters. But despite all this, please don't stoop to their level. Don't shout them down. Don't censor or insult anyone. And fighting hate with hate won't solve anything. Just try to have a respectful conversation and debate, even if they refuse. Even if they're blind to their own godless ideology and they refuse to acknowledge the facts. Use self-control and be civil. It won't change the media, but it might open up a respectful conversation with someone. I'm David Fiorazo. God bless you and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.